Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I will be painting some bookmarks, and I will be using Clairefontaine Fontaine watercolor paper 20 by 40 centimeters or 8 by 15.5 inches. And you will also be needing some ruler, pencil, and if you don't have this exact same size, doesn't matter. You actually need some square paper in a square size. That is 20 by 20 centimeters. You can use it larger, smaller, whatever, just it needs to be in a square size, and then divide it into three equal parts. Since mine is 20 centimeters or 8 inches, I will be dividing into three parts. That's 6.5 centimeters or somewhere around 2 and 6 inches. So afterwards, since I am using a larger paper, and for those bookmarks I'm using just half of it, I'm just putting washi tape in the middle part because I don't want to go on the other side. I will be also using raw sienna and mixes of colors that I did. I will be putting down in the description box all the materials, list all the materials I am using. But you can use actually whatever colors you like. I'm using some yellowish, brownish, something in between. That's raw sienna. Also, I will be using some purplish color and also some pinkish, and all for different bookmarks. And also we'll be painting some gradient wash. This is also an opportunity if you're a beginner to learn to paint gradient wash. And so I will be starting with the most saturated part of the bookmarks in the upper part and going downwards a little bit less saturated and using the most water. So when you're painting top, you should use more pigment and less water, and going downwards you should use less pigment and more water. Just if it doesn't work first time, you can add a little bit more water, a little bit more of the pigment in the upper part, then just go downwards, and going downwards, just don't add pigment, just add a little bit of water. This time I also did not put a washi tape on the edges of my bookmarks because I do want them to look like handmade and with not sharp corners, just freehanding the edges. And I am pre-wetting the part where I'm going to paint, and I did that also for the first bookmark. Now for the second bookmark, and doing again the gradient wash, same as I did for my first bookmark. A little bit more pigment on the top, and I'm always starting on the top because I do pick up a lot of pigment with my brush, and when you go downwards, it's natural that there is a less and less pigment in your brush, so the lower part tends to be a little bit lighter also if you're not adding any more pigment to your brush. And then again picking up some more pigment and just going downwards in those horizontal strokes, starting with top. That is the place where I'm adding the most of the pigment, and going downwards where I add a little bit more water. If you can't really achieve it that easily, if you're going from downwards, just start with the clean water, and if you're going from upwards, just start with pigment, with more pigment in your brush. Then moving on to the third one, as I said, this is the raw sienna, and doing it absolutely in the same way as my first two bookmarks, just pre-wetting the paper, and not the entire bookmark. I'm leaving the edges, the white part near the edges, and just pre-wetting the part I will be painting, and then starting off with a bit more pigment in my brush from the top, going downwards. As I go downwards, there is less pigment in my brush, and if I need more water in my brush because it's getting too dry, I'm just tapping it into water, not adding any more of the pigment. And that is the way that you can make some beautiful gradient wash. After the paint completely dries, I am now drawing my doodles, and I started off with a white gel pen. And when I finished my doodles, I actually didn't like it because it wasn't visible. The washes were too light, and it was visible in the upper part but not really in the lower part. It was just too light for the amount of pigment and saturation in my colors, so I decided to add a little bit more of the black micron pen later on. You can really start right away with that black pen, gel pen or ink pen, whatever you have. Just start with that. This actually white gel pen is water soluble, so if you go over it with watercolors again, because you'll see I'll be adding a little bit of watercolors on top, you will pick up that gel pen. So the best thing for you to do is to use some marker, permanent marker, or some ink pen, that is not water soluble. So I did, as I said, do all the doodles with white gel pen, and then I realized it's way too light, not working at all. So I'm adding a little bit of watercolors with a detail brush here and there. And when I finished that, I also thought, no, that's not it. I don't really like it. It shouldn't be a final piece and it shouldn't look like that at the end. So I did finish the first one, adding those watercolors, because I was planning to add watercolors on top anyway. And then I just used a brush with a clean water, smudge it slightly. As I said, I've picked up the white gel pen slightly and also made those lines I did with watercolors a little bit lighter. And then on top of it, I added a black ink pen. This is a micron, it's number 05, I think, and I've added doodles on top of it, just going on the doodles that were done with white gel pen, same doodles. And after I finish those doodles, I will be again adding on the other two also a little bit of watercolors, and just to it was looking too flat to me, so I did want to add a little bit more of watercolors. And before that, of course, me, if you watch my videos, I like sprinkles. So I'm also sprinkling some paint, and I'm sprinkling the paint I used for the background. So for the purple one, I'm sprinkling some purple color. For the pinkish, I'm adding some pink sprinkles, and for the last one, some raw sienna. And then just with a smaller round brush, adding details. And I'm not again going over all my lines, just here and there, adding some details to the other two bookmarks. After I finish with that, I'm just cutting my bookmarks on the lines that I drew earlier, which are the separations of my bookmarks. And I'm using a ruler also for that, a scalpel and a ruler, because that is the easiest way, at least for me, to make a straight line, to cut it straight. And just with an eraser, I'm just erasing those edges from the pencil. Then I'm just using a puncher. This is just a regular office puncher, nothing special, and I'm just punching the holes, looking to make them somewhat in the middle of the bookmark. And afterwards, just using some rope. This is just natural rope, no pigment, no color, and I like things natural, so I like that the best. And I just tied it in knot. And that's it. That's the finished bookmark. And if you have maybe some tape, for presents or something like that, you can also use that. Whatever you have, that is actually very fine. And that is it. We're finished. Quite easy, isn't it? I hope you had fun and you will try this. And this is just perfect. Maybe if you need a fast gift for someone, this is just perfect thing. I think everyone will just love it. It's something you made. So guys, thank you a lot for watching, for all your support. If you like this video, please hit the like, share it, comment. And if you haven't still, please subscribe to my channel. It would really mean a lot to me. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.